Joined now by Rob Williams, Rob the hockey guy, the national sports editor of the Daily Hive and its Offside Sports Vertical. They'll be caroling later tonight at the company Christmas party.
Bellowing out the lyrics, yes.
Merry Christmas, Rob.
Merry Christmas, guys.
That's
That's my first Merry Christmas of the year.
Oh, really? Okay.
It is.
Well, you'll get a lot of them tonight.
It's December 7th. It's appropriate
now appropriate.
Yeah.
We're within 3 weeks.
I'm not shaming you on it.
The Canucks gave you a present. It was a bonus skate jersey night. Huh?
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
What is going on here? This is something we didn't talk about on yesterday's show because who are we, Blake Price?
We wouldn't steal Rob's content.
To talk jerseys when we have Jersey Beat guy coming up on Thursday.
But I was asked about it by another reporter, just saying, like, are they are they giving more nights to the skate? And
are we seeing the transition to the skate jersey being the primary jersey, Rob?
I highly doubt it. I mean, everything I've ever heard is that this owner likes blue and green, and now this owner also likes money, and the flying skate jersey is a moneymaker. I can't see them going to it full time. I don't think that this is the first move of testing the waters to make it full time. It's not unprecedented to kind of deviate from the schedule a little bit. I remember when they first brought back the flying skate jersey for they brought it back for it was supposed to be 3 or 4 nights, and it ended up being like 5 or 6 nights sort of thing. So not totally unprecedented to have this happen. I mean, my theory on it is, as we mentioned, it is Christmas time. It's a big seller. Maybe throw it on the ice a little bit more while people are buying the Christmas presents. Maybe sell a few more flying skate jerseys and other merch in the holiday season.
They have to be the
there have been a lot of reports about Francesco and his preference over the years. Do we know what the players think? Like, did the players have any influence?
They seem to like the black.
They definitely seem to like the black skate jersey. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a part of me thinks like this is, it's kind of the ebbs and flows of people's preferences. You recall in the early 2000s, the stick and rink was all the rage. Everyone liked the stick and rink. Nobody really like the flying skate wasn't really a thing. It was all about that retro look with the blue and green. And of course, at that time, the Canucks weren't wearing blue and green. It was so popular, they brought blue and green back and made it part of their primary look again. So I do think that there's part of that is this, where it's like, okay, 90s fashion, 80s fashion is in style, so that works. But and also just the affinity for the 94 team. But if you look across the league, when the Canucks wear these jerseys, you see people across the league go, wow, like these are like great looking uniforms. Like they might be the best looking.
Because the colors just work. The colors, colors are unique.
Let me ask you both the question then. Is it only a matter of time? Do eventually they get back to skate as the primary?
See, my comment on that is, and Rob, you can help me out. Like the NBA does this. I can't think of any other team that does this in North America. How many teams' third jerseys are a completely different logo and color scheme from their primaries? Like everybody's got third jerseys. Most teams have got third jerseys, but they're usually within the color scheme or branching off from that color scheme in the family of that color scheme. And they certainly don't necessarily change the logo. But this is both. Like this is a completely different logo with a completely different color scheme. And the NBA certainly has leaned into that.
And for those who don't know, there would be an awful lot of things that would require change in a letterhead. Like the logos are everywhere. Yeah. And so you'd be needing to turn those back into the black skate colors.
My bigger point, though, is it's a clumsy third jersey because you don't then have people in the lower bowl or in, that's the one we see on TV, wearing the same color. Right. Like if you're selling both color schemes, you've got a speckled menagerie there in the lower bowl rather than that uniformity that you're used to seeing in sports.
Menagerie. Good word.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's why they were hesitant to go to it as a third jersey in the first place. Yeah, you're right. They'd have to change a lot of things. They would not have to change the seats though. Those are going to be all black, of course. Yeah, I feel like this is the end game, at least with this ownership. I think if you get a new owner, then all bets are off, and it could be anything. But I think with this ownership, I think they like blue and green. That's what they switched the colors to. Only a few years after buying the team, so that's my sense. I don't think that this is something that's going to be that we're going to be veering off into. And then the speckled jerseys in the crowd, I feel like the Canucks just need to own that. That's it's part of the weird history of this franchise. And you can have 10 Canucks fans wearing 10 completely different jerseys. You could have somebody wearing if somebody didn't know the team at all, they'd think they were supporting 10 different teams. And maybe it's just kind of a thing. I think that's just the
Can the fans force the issue here, though, guys? What if the fans force the issue? What if it's 70% black jerseys in the audience? Doesn't the team look at that and go, I think they're speaking to us here? Isn't that a public vote, a referendum in and of itself?
We could get the fans maybe could get a banner and fly it on a plane around the city.
Totally.
Maybe put their votes in. I don't know. I must say I like the black skate jersey. I just feel like they've changed it so many times. Just keep the color scheme at the very least is sort of what I think. And I think the blue and green is just sort of that's the color that this team has had for the majority of its existence. The Orca logo too is the logo that they've had for most of their existence. I think there's something to be said for tradition and consistency as well. But it is harder and harder to argue that point when people just love the flying skate logo.
Well,
and they love those jerseys.
Number one, just don't ever go back to salmon. Secondly, Rob, the horse was out of the barn when they went flying V in the early 80s. No, but that was the first transition of colors before we even got to skate. And it's not totally without precedent. Some of us remember when the Los Angeles Kings, purple and gold, or they tried to tell us it was blue, but purple and gold. The Buffalo Sabres made a transition to black and red, and then have gone right back to the blue and gold of their establishment. So I do think the fans can force the issue. I do think the black seats are going to make it easier. And I mean, I think it's more than just anecdotal, gents. Like, I just think this fan base prefers that color scheme and that logo.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody likes it. And even kids, like my kids who didn't experience 94, they love it.
No, exactly.
They've got no nostalgia for it. They weren't alive.
You know what's going to need to happen? And it's going to need to be like their lucky jersey. Like every time they wear the black skate, they seem to win and then make the playoffs. And then the team pushes for black skate and management and ownership and everything. Everyone goes, okay, like if the players feel better in those jerseys, maybe we've got a better chance of winning tonight, and then they go on a run in the black skate. That's how they'll bring the black skate back.
Rob, that's a great point. Game one of the playoffs,
right?
There was a 100% certainty they're wearing black for game one of the playoffs, isn't it? I mean, I think so.
Well, where's the game?
I guess that would dictate it, right?
Or this is what will have to happen. They'll have to start the playoffs. The players and the coaching staff and everyone, they all want to wear black. Their team doesn't let them wear black. They wear blue. They lose terribly. Then they reverse back to black skate, go on a big comeback.
Maybe
I'm starting to dream here, guys.
You guys should be novelists here, right? You got it all worked out.
Maybe they debut the yellow skate in the game one of the playoffs. Right. There we go.
Okay, moving on to a guy who did not wear black skate, but who nevertheless is going to be honored alongside many who wore black skate. Roberto Luongo Ring of Honor night is fast approaching. It is, in fact, a week from today, December 14th, when the Florida Panthers come to town. You know where Louis' last resting place as a Vancouver Canuck is going to be?
Yeah, I mean, did you see? I mean, first of all, they unveiled a logo, and you can buy merch and whatnot with Roberto's for Roberto's Ring of Honor night. And of course, I noticed they had the number one featured prominently. Which I thought was interesting because not retiring the number, but you throw anything Roberto Luongo, like the Canucks, they post anything about Luongo on Twitter, and the comment section is like right back in like the summer of 2011, like debates about whether he should or shouldn't, have his jersey retired. Of course, it is going to be Ring of Honor, though. He is going to be up there. It's getting very crowded up in the Ring of Honor, of course. This is the most crowded spot now in the whole ring, and he's above the press box. So if you're at the game tonight, you can look up and see they've got it covered with a little banner. So it's already been installed, but they've got it covered with a banner that says Roberto Ring of Honor Night. He's in between Harold Schneps and Orland Kurtenbach. Which I thought was kind of an odd spot. Like, you could put him up there with like his buddy Burrows or someone else. But
the old with the
you
new.
had to give him distance from McLean, and then secondly, you put him above the press box so that the media doesn't see it routinely. And
get angry.
Oh, I can't believe they didn't retire his.
Well, I have to say, I looked at the logo very closely because I was ready to push my conspiracy theory that they were going to surprise him with the honor, but they actually, in small font on the stick at least, says Ring of Honor. A couple of the logos have no mention of the honor at all. It's just number one, but the stick, the novelty stick, actually says Ring of Honor on it, which was disappointing because if it didn't, I would have pushed my theory that they're going to surprise him, but clearly not the case, unfortunately.
One more thing I would do, you guys, is all the retired number guys, shouldn't they also be in the Ring of Honor? Shouldn't that just be, because like the Ring of Honor, it kind of looks cooler than the retired jersey, if you ask me. You get your face up there.
It's more prominent. Yeah.
It's a huge thing in the arena. Like, why aren't the Sedins and Linden and Bure and Smeal and
it's a great point.
and Haslam, why are they not up there? I mean, other than space constraints, because they've added so many players to the Ring of Honor.
You know what? It's too clumsy to put them in the Ring of Honor, but you're right. The level of honor is backwards. Like the retired numbers should be the ones that get the faces and the number in the ring. You should have just jerseys for the Ring of Honor nominees. I hadn't thought about that.
Boy, I mean, Grady, you put Blake and Rob in a room and they'll just figure out everything. All the world's problems.
We should be on the panel that decides these things. That
Rob's a genius.
Okay, lastly, Sam Lafferty and Ryan Reaves playing sparingly, not making the contributions that many in Leafland would have thought. They got rid of Sam Lafferty for him.
Oops.
Who's playing pretty well alongside Pettersson.
Yeah, so I wrote about this yesterday. Leafs fans have found it on Twitter. They're not happy with me, which is okay.
Attaboy, Rob.
That means it's true.
You keep poking
that
the
means
bear.
It's true.
It is interesting too. Like I don't know why the Leafs felt the need to get rid of Lafferty. Like he was coming off his best season in the NHL.
They just traded for him last year. Like,
I know.
Honestly.
I mean, different general manager acquired him, of course, but as we've seen with him in Vancouver, I mean, he's been a great addition. A great skater. You never have to question his desire and his effort. If you look at his goals, he's got 4 goals in his last 8 games, being elevated onto the Pettersson line. But I mean, he was elevated for a reason. Like he was really excelling in a bottom 6 role. Ultimately, he's going to be a bottom 6 forward for them. But you look at the way he's scoring his goals, banging in rebounds, deflections in front. Like there's a common theme. It's him going to the front of the net. What a great acquisition! But one of the many that Patrick Allvin has made in the last several months. To get him for a 5th round pick, like it just seems like an odd thing for the Leafs to have done. And I mean, everyone's talking about Ryan Reaves, and he's had a dreadful season for the Leafs. There's no question, but like he was always going to make that team. Like it's not like he could have played himself out of a spot because they want the X factor that he brings. but they also signed Noah Gregor to a PTO. Like they brought in a PTO guy to take the spot that Lafferty could have filled in Toronto. I do not for the life of me know why they did it. Like, and again, it's not like he came out of nowhere. Like he had a nice season last year, in split between Chicago and Toronto. But the Canucks are thrilled to have him, right? Like that's some found money. Like and I think it's a nice little thing that Canucks fans can have over Leafs fans right now. To thank you for that trade.
Saravelli edified us yesterday. They're doing great work on the margins here. Marginal 5% upgrades in certain spots, which are compounded, making a difference with this hockey club. Rob, fantastic stuff today. I love talking jerseys with you, buddy.
He hates talking jerseys, so that's a huge compliment.
No, it's true. But I don't hate talking jerseys. Yeah. It's just, for me, it's the city name on the front that means the most. The rest is sort of decoration.
So you want the city name on the front?
Yeah.
I don't want the city name.
Bring that back.
Yeah.
Vancouver up the top.
So for me, it's about community and the team playing for community, and they can wear whatever they want.
But it builds community.
People are going to root for them. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Fair enough. I'm not as I'm a what's inside the book thing, not necessarily the cover.
Oh, love the cover. This clip brought to you by Betway. Must be 19 plus to play. Please play responsibly.